welcome back to another video, or welcome if you are new here. If you have just joined, my name is Jasmine and I make faith and lifestyle videos. I make cozy little vlogs and bookish videos because I'm a big reader, so if you like that kind of thing, feel free to subscribe down below. I would love to have you here on my channel. Today I'm just going to film another faith style video, something that's really been on my heart. Last week I did a book video, which I love doing, but I also love doing these sit down cozy chatty videos where you can just hopefully find them quite relatable, and you can just sit down with a drink or with something like that and get cozy and just listen along and be encouraged, hopefully. So yeah, I really felt like this one was the one I needed to film this week, something that God put on my heart, and it's just mainly about trusting God when the healing doesn't come yet. And I'll explain more about that obviously in the video as I talk about it. As I mentioned so many times before on my channel, I live with many different health conditions, which I'll go into in a minute, and I haven't yet had the healing from God yet, and though I still believe for it. And I want to talk about trusting God through that, and how I look to him still through that, and the waiting, how I'm trusting God in the waiting, how I'm looking to God. And I really hope that this will give you encouragement, it will bless you in some way, and just really help and encourage you in your journey with whatever you are facing. And yeah, I really hope it blesses you today, and I really hope you enjoy the video. So if you have been on my channel for a while now and you follow my socials, you will know that I live with a few different health conditions. I have SLE lupus, and I have that quite severely. It's quite complicated, all the things with my lupus. I have fibromyalgia, I have endometriosis and congenital heart disease, and I also have right now 2 severely leaking heart valves. And the doctors have obviously said, I think I've mentioned this in a previous video, but I can't remember if I have. If I haven't, I will do another video explaining all of it. I have 2 severely leaking heart valves right now, and obviously I do need open heart surgery for that, but I've been told I can't have it because I wouldn't survive surgery and it's too much of a risk. So pretty much the doctors have said there's no more we can do for you. Your symptoms can get worse, and they will do, and that's kind of where things have been left. So yeah, surgery isn't really an option, and this is just the reality that I live every day. I have chronic pain every single day. The symptoms with my heart flare every single day. The symptoms with my lupus flare up. I've just been in a flare up over this weekend. And yeah, it's hard. I live with, quite severe chronic pain every single day. I'm in pain right now as I'm filming this, but I'm just pushing through and filming it because it's what I love to do. And yeah, I haven't yet, got the healing from God that we've prayed for, that we've asked God for, and that we've believed for, and we still believe for. But that never changes my outlook on God. The fact that I haven't got my healing yet, I still look to him, I still have faith in him, I still trust him through all of this. And that's kind of why I wanted to film this, just to encourage you in your waiting season. Maybe you're like me and you haven't had your healing yet. I for me don't know if I'm going to be healed in this lifetime or not. Maybe it will be in the next one when there's no more pain and there's no more sickness. That's when the healing will be. But I know that my job now is just to trust God through all of this and to keep trusting him. And yeah, just trusting in his timing, and keep carry on looking to him through it all. And a lot of people ask me, how can you still trust God when you're going through all of this and you haven't yet got your healing? How can you still have faith in your God? Do you still believe in healing? Do you still pray for healing? And yes, of course I do. I pray for healing every single day. Every time I pray to God, I pray for healing. I pray to him all the time, especially, for example, when I'm at church, I declare healing over myself in worship. There's been many times where there's been speakers coming in who have really, diligently and thoroughly prayed over me for healing. And, many people have asked me, if God is so good, then why hasn't he healed you? But for me, my answer is always, God's goodness isn't dependent on my circumstances or whether I've got the healing yet or not. It's dependent on who he is. And that is something I really want to encourage you with. Even though you haven't got your healing yet, and even though it can be so hard and you may be struggling with it so much, just keep trusting God and know that his goodness isn't tied to your circumstances or what you're going through or whether you've got the healing or not yet. It's dependent on who he is and the fact that he is with you throughout all that you are facing. And something that I've just recently blogged about on my blog channel is, yes, I may not have the miracle of the healing yet, but I do have a miracle, and my miracle is that Jesus is in this with me all the way through. That's my miracle in the middle. The fact that he is with me in all of this and holding me through all of this. The fact that he's been with me every single step of the way, even through some of the most hardest challenges of my journey, and the hardest times where I didn't think I would make it through, times when I didn't think I'd be sat here today. That's another miracle in itself. The fact that I've got breath in my lungs, I'm sat here today filming. When doctors have said to my parents, I'm not going to make it through. You know, when doctors have said to my parents when I was younger, I won't live till I'm 25 because of my heart conditions. But I'm still here, even though I've gone through so much and it's been so close, I'm still here. I still do pray to God, and I still believe that God can fully heal me. I trust that he will do it in his timing, in his way, and in his planned purpose that he has. You know, I still believe that he is able to do what is impossible. You'll have to excuse me if I'm looking to my notes on my iPad. I just want to make sure that I'm getting my points across and I'm saying the right things. And yeah, but at the same time, while still believing in all of that and believing that I still, you know, that the God can still and will still heal, and that he is way more than able, you know, I'm still also living in the reality of what I'm going through every day. You know, constantly in and out of A&E, constantly having treatments after treatments, going for hospital appointments. You know, this week I've got multiple hospital appointments. I'm at the hospital tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, every day. You know, and there are days where I still feel fatigued, like right now. You know, most days I feel like going back to bed and just laying in the bed the whole day. But I don't, because I also hate doing that. I hate laying in bed all day and just being lazy like that. But obviously sometimes when my body is like, you know, rest, I listen to my body. You know, there's days like now where the pain is just the background of it in everything that I do. I can't do simple tasks. I struggle to walk long distances. I struggle on the stairs. I struggle to make my bed. Even just little tasks like that are really difficult because I get breathless so quickly. And yeah, there are days when I can manage a little bit more, and there are also days where I can't manage much at all. You know, like much this weekend, I was supposed to be going out with my friend for brunch after church. I was so excited to do it, and then I woke up in the morning and I was like, I cannot move. I was in that much pain. All the symptoms were just flaring up, and I was like, I cannot move, I can't get out of bed. So I said I had to cancel. I didn't go to church, I didn't go and see my friend, and it was really sad. And I was really upset because I really wanted to go. I wanted to go to church. I love going to church. That is something that I really do, even though I may not feel like it, really push myself to do, because I know that being in church, even when I'm in so much pain, you know, there's been times at church when I'm like in agony because I'm in so much pain, but that's the blessed place for me to be. And even if I was just sat there in worship and able to stand, that is the best place to be, because I'm in the Lord's house and I'm in worship and just praising him through the pain. And yeah, things with my health are uncertain. They're not good. They don't have, you know, an answer. There's no clear answer. But yeah, when you're in that middle place, in the waiting place where I am right now, when you're in that like middle place, in that place of waiting, it can be hard, you know, when you see the others getting the healing that you've prayed for. And while that's amazing that these people are getting the healing, and I'm celebrating and joining in with them with their happiness and everything, it can be sometimes be hard and be like, do you know what, why haven't I got that healing yet? And it also makes me think of actually a scene in The Chosen when little James is talking to Jesus, and he's saying, Lord, why didn't you heal me yet, when you've healed so many people before and you can heal, and I've seen it performed on multiple and thousands of people. And Jesus says to him, you know, I trust you. It's because I trust you. I trust that you, he said, you know, I can heal you right now if I wanted to. But maybe I'm not doing it because I trust you, and I trust you with the fact that you can hold on to faith while you're going through all that you are facing and still worship me, still proclaim my goodness, and still trust in me. And I really relate to that situation. And that is something that God has really called me to do, just to keep trusting in him through all that I'm facing, and just to keep looking to him, even in the hard times and even in the waiting, even when I'm in so much pain and going through the uncertainty and the difficulty of what I'm facing each day. You know, to keep looking to him and to proclaim that he is good no matter what, and that he is still a faithful and good and powerful God. even in the midst of not yet having the healing and in the midst of the difficulty with chronic illness and the pain of that every single day. Faith doesn't always look like everything being perfect and everything okay. That's what my faith looks like. You know, my health isn't perfect, it isn't okay, and it isn't good, as I just said. But you know, sometimes faith just looks like continuing, like Jesus said to little James to do, continuing to turn and trust God when nothing around you has changed yet. And even when you're still waiting, and you know, daily, this is what it looks like for me. You know, God speaks to me every single day and he says, you know, when I'm in so much pain, for example, at church, he just says, just sit in my presence and worship me through the pain. You know, and he says to me, you know, when I'm sat there in pain, he just says, just be in my presence in this time. And that's what I do. And I surrender. Another thing he's taught me to do is just surrender every single hour, to come to him, to keep going to his feet and saying, do you know what, Lord, this is the news that we've had today with the doctors. This is how I feel today, but I'm going to surrender it and hand it over to you and just be at your feet. You know, and something that has really helped me and still does help me now is just, yeah, praying through every single moment and every single day and every single situation, even through the littlest things. You know, I could be at hospital going for treatment, and sometimes, you know, when I'm having the cannula put through, it doesn't always go right. That's something they really struggle with because of the way that my veins are. But even just praying for those little things like that really do make a difference. And, you know, like it says in 1 Thessalonians 5:16, always rejoice and constantly pray, and in everything give thanks. And that is a verse that I really live by, especially through all that I face, to always rejoice and have joy no matter what. Because my joy isn't rooted in the circumstances or in the world around me. It's rooted in Jesus and who he is, what he does for me, and the fact that he's with me through all of this. And to constantly pray, that means to be in a constant state of prayer, not just do it a little bit or for when you want something, just to do it constantly. And you know, I do it at night time a lot when I'm in pain and I'm struggling to sleep, much like last night. I was really struggling with the pain because I'm in quite a big endometriosis flare-up right now. So as you can imagine, things are really painful. And I was just praying, Lord, let me just sit in your presence in this time and just take away this pain a little bit, even if it's not fully, just be with me and ease this pain. And living in that constant state of prayer and just praying all the time really does help, and it really changes the situation, because prayer is powerful. And also giving thanks in every circumstance and every situation, even though your circumstance may not look like the way you want it to. You know, we have so much to be grateful for. Like I said earlier, the very fact that I'm sat here today is a reason to be grateful. The fact that you have breath in your lungs is a reason to be grateful and thankful. And when you practice thankfulness every day, every single day, gratitude really does turn what you have into enough, even though it may not be the situation that you want. You'll start seeing joy in the little things and being thankful for the little things, and just being thankful for his simple presence in this with you. And that a daily discipline, I guess, that has really helped me is just going into his word every single day and letting this be your anchor, the roadmap for life, the answer for every situation, the key to every situation, and your strength for every situation, because there is so much strength, power and goodness found in his word. You know, there's been times in hospital when I don't know, when I felt lonely, when I felt nervous, when I felt anxious, when I've not really known what to do. But I've had his word, and that is what has strengthened me and picked me up. Especially doing it every day helps you to recite it in those moments where you need it most. And as I've spoken about so many times before on my channel, there's been scenarios where my mum has just been like, wait, I need to pray over her. She's prayed verses over me before she's left the hospital. And it's just brought so much change to the atmosphere and the situation, where we could just recite his word in those moments where we need it, where we've been able to just lean on prayer as our only anchor, as we still do. And yeah, going to his word and just simply just trusting and letting the strength of his word wash over me in those situations, and now really is that strength and that anchor and that help for me. The thing that I do each day and that I pray each day now is I'm really honest with God, and I say, God, no matter what symptoms I face today, no matter how I feel today, I trust you because you are good and your presence is enough. Even if that's the only thing I have right now, your presence is all that I need. And when I have your presence, I lack nothing. And I just say to him, you know, your goodness strengthens me, carries me, and never leaves me. And that is why I'm so grateful, even through all that I'm facing. Another thing that is just strengthens me so much, and I briefly spoke about earlier, was just worshipping. Worship God in the waiting. You know, when you don't know what to do, lean on worship, because worship will get you through. And Jesus is worthy, God is worthy of our worship, no matter what we are facing, no matter what we are going through. He is so worthy of our worship. And what helps me to worship, and what helps me to trust in him and look to him, is to know that Jesus ultimately did walk this road of suffering himself. He went through suffering. He went through immense pain when he died for us on the cross, when he was crucified. And knowing that he walked that, and that he paved that kind of path and way, and knowing that he got through it gets me through it, and that he leads me through it. It's like he's leading me through. I know that sounds strange the way I've worded it, but what I mean is, like, you know, he leads me through the valley. He is the light of the valley, and I know that he's walked through this suffering, and that even if I have to suffer, I can walk it too, knowing that Jesus is with me. And that makes me emotional, because yeah, what I go through is so hard and so difficult, but I know that I have the Saviour walking every single step with me and holding me through it all. So yeah, my encouragement from this would just be to worship God in the waiting. Continue to worship him all the way through, just as he speaks to me to do. To continue to trust him even when you can't see the end yet, even when you can't see a way out of the valley. You know, don't always look for the exit sign in the valley when you're in the valley of struggle and pain. Don't always rush around and look for the exit sign of how you can get out. Look to the one who is in it with you, the one who is your helper and strength up the hill on the uphill battle and through the valley. Keep trusting in him, keep having faith in him, keep looking up to him and not around you at your circumstances. Because when you fix your eyes on Jesus, everything else becomes so much easier. That is all I wanted to say today. Just a really short and sweet encouragement video. I didn't have much energy to film today, but I really did want to film this for you. And it was really on my heart to film it for you from God. And yeah, I really hope it's encouraged you in some way. It's a bit more of a raw and like honest video, I guess, in a way. But I love these videos. I love these kind of videos where I can just, like, as much as I love my book videos and my vlogs that I'm going to be doing, I do love these faith style videos where I can just literally be honest, and it's more like a podcasty style, I guess, where I can just like really just sit down chilled, and hopefully you're doing the same thing with your little Bible and your notebook, and you can just write some points off, or even if you're just sat there having your dinner, having a drink, and you're just sat like watching this as I'm speaking. That's what I love, and that's what I want my channel to be about, for it to be relatable, encouraging, and a place where you can just find that encouragement and that, you know, maybe God's presence from it, you know, just leading you to this video if you need it. And yeah, feel free to share this video with someone else who needs it. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments how I can be praying for you. You know, if you're going through something similar, I'd love to chat with you and get to know you and become friends. And yeah, like I said, I really hope this video has blessed and encouraged you in some way today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.